Yo, my sovereigns, what up? This is Boba Fett, uncensored on the internet, with episode 107 of Splinterlands 101. Joining us once again, co-hosts of the show, finest gentleman who ever lived, Matt Clark.
Howdy, howdy.
And the man behind the Poussey, the Geotrix, we're not too sure, he's just ducked out for a second look, so he'll be back shortly, hopefully. And our guest tonight, I mentioned last week, it was another name drop. So we've had two guests in a row who've been name dropped by previous guests. And it's like, yes, we must get them onto the show. So originally from, well, I'll let you decide where he's originally from. The accent's a dead giveaway, but currently very famous in the game for his work with Team Philippines. And if you haven't heard of Mango Mayhem, then you haven't been playing Splinterlands, essentially. So Mango, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks very much, guys, for having me. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. So,
all right. And just for the minority groups out there who did not recognize your accent, where are you from originally?
I'm a British Filipino, so born in Britain. Both my parents are Filipino. Born in England, and recently, well, not recently, 8 years ago, moved back to the Philippines to seek the roots, to find the culture, and regain my Filipino Pinoy pride, as we call it.
Pinoy pride?
Yeah, we call it Pinoy pride out here. After Manny Pacquiao, but I'm not going to say too much about that, seeing as he lost to Jeff Horn and whatnot. So, but yeah, Pinoy pride.
Alrighty, fair enough. So one of the ways we usually start the show is to discover how you found your way into Splinterlands. Some people came from a crypto background, some people from a card collecting background, and then there's people like me who just stumbled into this with no experience in either of those two realms. How did you get to be here, Mango?
So I've got a very good friend living in the same city. I believe he's an OG out there. So his name is Level Up Life. He's the person that actually got me involved in Splinterlands in the first place. I have no crypto background. I am a cash person. You know, I've got businesses out here in the Philippines, but never dealt with crypto. Did stocks back in the day just for a bit of hobby, but never crypto. He got me in. He got me involved. The first step was really with Bitcoin and stuff like that. But for me personally, it was a little boring. You know, I'm sorry for those Bitcoin maxis out there, but it was a little boring just to see things go up and down. It was no experience. He introduced me to Splinterlands. He delegated me my first cards across in 2021, and I played it, and then I haven't touched another game since. So, you know, that's the story of Splinterlands. You know, Splinterlands is the shizzle. You know, it's just a very competitive TCG game. You know, the fundamentals of it is, you know, it's chess in a card game. What more can you say? You know, you just got to keep practice makes perfect, and just go for it. You know, I love the competitive nature of it. I love talking trash. You know, we've got Discord groups that we just talk trash to each other. I love seeing the best of the best players and learning from them, and then eventually beating them. You know, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. You know.
Yes.
And eventually you come on their podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I don't know. I think I've met Boba Fett a couple of times because usually I play in Champ League now. But I have got an old account in Gold League, and I think that's where Boba Fett plays.
Yep.
So I played him a couple of times. I would like to say, seeing as I'm on your podcast, I mean, it's a very, very challenging experience. However, I'm fully loaded, you know, and whenever I go and play my accounts, I literally, if I don't have the cards, I rent them, you know, so I'm fully stacked.
Yeah.
But very competitive. To be honest, I think Gold League's the most competitive league out there right now, where it's got the best players in there, that's for sure. I think Champion's obviously more rewarding, but I have a lot more fun in Gold League right now. So, but yeah, I'm heavy. I'm a heavy gamer. I play every day. I play daily. I play 2 accounts. Well, you know, I kind of split my time, but mostly I spend it on the champ deck. But then I do spend a lot of time now in gold. I try and hit leaderboards like every season.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I never made it into champion, but before the SPS staking, I was playing in diamond. And when the SPS staking came in, I dropped back to gold to maximize on the rewards. And it was interesting that I was still seeing the same people. So a lot of people dropped from diamond or maybe even above, because there were certainly people with the cards and the skill to be playing at champion level, but not the SPS. So in gold, I think I'm still seeing the same people that I was seeing in diamond. Have you had a similar
a lot of the
experience?
same. I have, yeah. I mean, in Champion League, since the bots have kind of been removed from modern, I mean, I'm not going to say they're all removed. I mean, let's be honest about it. There is still, still the private ones out there. But I do see that the names have changed on the leaderboards. A lot of ex players have come back, which is a great thing to see. Like Stever82, he's a real player and he's back. He's playing and he's competitive.
He's
There's a
in my
lot of
guild, the
players.
Roaring 20s. He's
Yeah, he's cool, man. I
valuable
like
guild
him.
member, Stever82.
Yeah, I used to jump in his SPL stream actually, and I used to play him. What was he giving out back in the day? I think it was like a Rift Watcher pack or something, and I played him a couple of times. He's definitely more competitive now with the Rebellion set because he's got a maxed out deck. So, but he's always been a good player, even back in the day when I was playing. I know he switched to using bots and stuff, but he was actually always very, very good. Now I do like playing him. I like playing Bajangles. I see Bajangles a lot. He's part of YGG, I think.
Yes.
Mondroid is very good. I know he plays Clove's account. He's a good player though. But there's a lot of Filipinos out there, a lot of Filipino scholars playing accounts that potentially, you wouldn't even think they're a Filipino. Like P-Fork is playing I think it's an Australian guy's account. So the P-Fork is actually played by P Trek. He's a Filipino. And, you've got Charles FTW. He plays about 10 accounts. So he plays a lot of the Team Possible accounts. And now I think he's picked up a couple of Boobcase accounts. But like I said, I mean, who you're, when I come up against a name, you kind of know if you're going to have a good game or kind of like it's going to be a whitewash. You know what I mean? And that's what I like about this game. It's you got to practice, man. You got to get good. Like I always say, if someone's moaning about it, I say get good. Get good, get the cards. If you can't get the cards, rent the cards. If you've got premises saying, "Oh, I don't rent cards," well, that's your problem. You're going to lose. Go drop down to bronze. That's sorry. I'm that way. I'm like real hardcore when it comes to gaming, man. So. Yeah, but that's my experience.
So what have you played before?
Warcraft, but not the World of Warcraft. I used to play Reign of Chaos. That's a really old game. I used to play Dota. I used to play Call of Duty, Gears of War, Battlefield, stuff like that. What else have I played? I played lots of different. Command and Conquer, of course. Command and Conquer. Mobile Legends, League of Legends, stuff like that. And then I kind of landed here. But in terms of like TCGs, I played Magic the Gathering, I played Star Trek, I played Star Wars, Legend of the Five Rings, Vampire, Jihad. So many games, man. I pretty much like ventured into all the games because it's just cool, bro. That's just what we did back in England. That's my fun Saturday. Go to a card shop, play a tournament, and see how it runs. I used to love opening up the booster packs and seeing, what kind of rares or whatever I get. So yeah, it's kind of like that. But yeah, Splinterlands is everything for me, man. It helped me through the pandemic. It gave me something to do. It's my pastime when I get some rest time from the restaurant and from the from the apartments. And it's got a great community. I've never seen so much helping in a game perspective. I've never seen that. I mean, I used to see you drop packs, like I think it was untaped packs or orb packs or something all through SPL. And I'm just like, dude, I give cards away too. Like I'm always doing that, especially to the Filipino streamers. But I mean, I've never seen like OGs like actually just going there and just dropping shit, and it's worth money. It's not cheap. It's just helping people to get on their way. I've never seen that in a kind of game. And that's what I love about this particular game and this particular community, and that's probably why I'm staying so long. Plus the fact I like crushing my opponents, but besides that, it's a great community.
Hearing the lamentations of their women, love it. So it is a very different vibe. I feel like, if I could summarize, I kind of feel like the game respects us as players more than other games that I've played. And I've noticed that with movies too. If a movie honors me as the viewer and respects me and assumes that I'm smart, assumes that I'll get it, doesn't spoon feed me, that is very, really endearing to me. And I think that's part of what makes Splinterland such an appealing prospect for me personally, is that it respects me. I feel respected because they say, we know that you care about actually owning your cards. So we're going to make it so that you actually own your cards. You can rent them out to other people. If you're right about the value of a card, because I remember when Equalizer rule set came out and I stocked up on vampires, enchanted defenders, I think there was one other that I was like, yeah, okay, whatever's got low health as a trade-off for other good stuff, I'm just going to grab a heap and I'll throw them on the rental market. Oh, I don't need to play with 20 cards. If I can max these out in gold while they're nice and cheap and I've got dry powder, the announcement's just been made in a town hall, Equalizer rule set, bam, straight in there. And I know that the game is going to honour that and continue to keep the Equalizer rule set in the game. They're not going to go, oh, actually, no, it was unfair that somebody who happened to be watching that town hall and understood that the implications of the new rule set was able to get in there. So we're just gonna nerf this, and we're just gonna take some of this, and we're just gonna. There's so much micromanaging I think that goes on in other games, and this is kind of the Wild West, but in a good way. If you find a gold vein, it's yours, right? You just hack in there and get it. Just take it out. There's not going to be somebody saying, yeah, we need to be more equal and all of that rubbish. It's just the game respects us as players, and we can win or we can lose. You can lose 20 matches in a row. You can lose over and over again. You can lose money on a card. But that's the downside of the possible upside.
Yeah, they did the same for Zyriel, you know, and I always liked that card. I mean, I really went to buy that because I actually saw the value of it even before they kind of changed the weapons training rule set and stuff and how it operates and stuff. And you know, I already had thought that that was a great combination with Lily Shield for, you know, like I was already thinking of stuff that you could use it with, right? So, and I posted quite a few of my matches on Mavs, and I was chatting to VTEV, I think, and VTEV was doing the same thing. So he was just like trying to find the best combinations, and now it's just OP, bro. If you don't have a Zyriel, then you can't really talk too much about it because you know everyone had a fair opportunity to get that, you know, and you know I feel that if we've gone into investments like things that I've currently gone into from Splinterlands, it seems that it does kind of balance out eventually. You know, in the beginning, you might have felt that you got the short straw, but you know, eventually it works out for the better. And you know, like Zyriel for me is the biggest one. It's just like, wow, I picked up this card. You know, I bought how many copies of this card? I maxed out my own personal. I had a couple of spares, and now I'm all right. You know, every time I go into a battle, I've got it. It's there. So, um, I think Splinterlands is changing. I can't tell you that my whole feeling has always been positive, like when it comes to the kind of like way that they've strategized and you know, I do feel that there was a little bit too much push and shove, you know, and I get the premise behind that, but I think that you know there was a little bit of thought that we were kind of pushed to get something, but then eventually it took a little while for it to balance out. You know what I mean? I mean, it did come back eventually, but it took a little while to do so. And I think a lot of people got frustrated from that. You know, I come from a community that most of the Filipino players rent cards. You know, most of the Filipino players play scholarships and stuff like that. And I just feel that it's just a lot of barriers of entry. You know, it's a lot of barriers in entry for the new guys. You know, and yeah, it's great that there's old guys that are willing to offer scholarships and stuff like that and help new players to get in there. But you know, if someone really wants to sit down and invest and grow that investment, you know, I think it is a little difficult right now to do so on your own. And that's why we build communities like Team Philippines to kind of like eradicate certain barriers eventually for people to, you know, earn without doing so. But the thing I do know is that a lot of OGs are so frigging cool, man. Like they'll just help you out, you know, and that's my experience. You know, I've got very I'd like to say I've got close ties with Azicon. You know, people hate him, it seems as if people hate him in the Mavs group, but you know what? He stands up for the little people. You know, he speaks up for the little people, and he you know, he's actually one of these guys that I respect a lot, because most of the things that he pushes through is for the benefit of the player base and for the people that find it hard to get involved in the game. And although he might be taken wrong in certain ways, because yeah, I mean, if I was him, you know, what can you say? I've got this much stake. You know, get that much stake and talk to me. You know what I mean? And I think it's perfectly fine. You know, if I wanna say something, I'll get that much stake. But for me, the OGs here help. Like you, I mean, you know, I saw you so many times drop packs, man. And you know, the people that won those packs are guys that don't have anything. Okay, if you look into their account, they had a bunch of reward cards. You look at them to this day, they've got their own cards now. Yeah. They've got their own cards. They're building their own decks. They're building their own bronze and silver accounts. Now, man, that's an achievement. And that was started by people like yourself, OGs, people like, you know, me. We've got a community and we help people, you know, and that's what it's all about. But I do think Splinterlands is going to make it. And I do think that Splinterlands is definitely under the regime of Matt. I think this guy is like, I mean, he's got the brain. You know, he knows what he's doing. He's getting the right people. Like, call me Tim. I can't fault him for what he's done with those rebellion cards, man, because it makes you think. It makes you think twice. You know, you need to really think about those cards. And I just think the game's getting better. I mean, the new abilities that have come in, the new tactics that have come in. What other game has done that? You know what I mean? I've played so many games. I haven't yet experienced that. You know, there's people trying to get me to play their crypto games, and I just really don't want it. I just don't have time. You know, when I wake up in the morning, I play Splinterlands. When I come home after work, I play Splinterlands. There's nothing else to, and then afterwards I Netflix and go to sleep. You know, there's no room for other games.
I love Summoner Tactics as an example of where items and spells are going to take us.
Yeah,
because it's showing us that. It's saying, here's the vision. It's not just one day down the track we're going to maybe try to incorporate this into the game. It's right now you're seeing a small sample of what that's going to be like when there's a whole second round, when there's boots with wings, when you can add a flaming sword, when you can put on the horned helm of whatever, redemption, whatever it comes out, whatever it turns out to be. We're seeing that now in real time. So, oh, okay, I can share the vision. I can catch that vision. I think with Aggie at the helm, it felt very much, and I think a lot of people were starting to feel like we're on the runway, we're taking off, and we're flooring it really hard, but we're also running out of runway, and there's a swamp at the end, and it's like, well, what's going to happen if we don't manage to lift off before that happens, right? If we don't manage to actually. And I kind of feel like Yabba's just gone, okay, look, we need to stamp the brakes. And instead of hitting that swamp, we need to just stop right here. And we're going to build out our wings a little bit. And we're going to get less ambitious with how just fast we're going and either ride or die. But we're just going to wind that back a bit and say, no, we're going to cut our costs substantially. We're going to throw a lot of the cargo out of the plane. So the plane's much, much, much lighter. So taking off is far less ambitious. And yeah, I'm very positive about. I mean, I've always been positive about the game, but I'm very much a freedom zealot. So for me, this is about freeing humanity, putting people in charge of their own financial destiny, without all the rule makers there in the way, without all the middlemen in the way. So for me, this is not about making wealth. This is about freeing people, which is kind of freedom is in many ways the only really type of wealth there is. So yeah, I've always been positive about the game, never more so than right now. I've always enjoyed Yabba's mind. I keep saying when I meet him for the first time, I'm going to kiss him on the head. It's going to be really awkward because I've been talking about it for years now, and that's not the way men treat each other, but it is an exquisite brain, and I want to kiss him on the head.
Yeah, you've got to appreciate. Got to appreciate it, man. I mean, what he's done in the short period of time. I mean, I know, you know, I've got all respect for Agro. I really do. You know, he was a cool dude to me back in the day because when I first mentioned we were doing, well, actually, he reached out to me when I was doing live events in Mango. So in my bar's called Mango, so that's why, you know, I kind of took Mango Mayhem. So, but you know, when I did live events there, and then he reached out to me. You know, he wanted to find out more, and he sent me some spell books. And you know what was really cool? One of my employees had just started playing Splinterlands, and he sent him 50 SPS. And back then, I mean, you know, it was worth a little bit of money. 50 was a little bit. It was just nice gestures like that, and he was very approachable, you know. But Filipinos don't tend to reach out to people. You know, it's kind of, we believe in like a hierarchy kind of thing, you know. So I kind of like dealt with Chatter a lot, and he was cool with me. You know, whenever I did events, he sent stuff out to me. But I just feel that the way it kind of steered, there was a lot of frustration with that. You know, there was some key things which were not really revolving around the game per se, which should have been tackled. And with Matt on the helm now, I feel that the first thing he did was tackle it. You know, he was like, "This is the biggest thing. Briggs, we're going for it. We're going to do this." But you know, I do think Matt had a lot of support from some of the OGs as well, because you know, there's a lot of guys that were willing to help, and they actually did. You know, they put a lot of work into implementing the bot free zones and stuff like that. I know it upset a lot of people, but you know what? You want players, that's what you're going to need to do. You know, this is what's going to need to happen. I mean, I'm not saying I would have left the game, but I probably would be less intrigued to play it if I was still playing bots. You know, it's boring. You know, you beat the bots, and then you know suddenly you hit a certain rating and you just can't go any further because you know all these guys just start beating you up. You know, and it's just it's fun. Yeah.
It's easy to get. It's easy to. I think Monday morning quarterbacking is really easy, where we now say, "Oh, well, you know, it's great that Yabba's in charge and Aggie was, we've cut him loose." But and Yabba will tell you this. He's mentioned it a few times. This is not the first time he's built a game, but his previous game was still built with his own mind, but it didn't go anywhere because he didn't have a salesman pushing it and being outgoing and all of that. So I kind of feel like, you know, Aggie was what we needed when we had him. He was kind of the driving force behind all of it. And now we've hit that critical mass where, hopefully, at least, fingers crossed, Yabba's sort of intellect can take us the rest of the way now that the game's essentially selling itself. But look, we're all going to find out together. I'm here for the long run. Sounds like you're here for the long run. So let's all find out together. Right?
Yeah, man. I think Agro's coming back anyway. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't see Agro stepping out as a permanent thing. I mean, I think he's needed. I think he's crucial for the business. You know, if you want to escalate, you know, if you kind of want to, if you look at just general business, you know, if you want to make it bigger, you need to get that sales guy, you need to get that rep, you need to get that marketing, you need to get that advertising out there. You know, there's no better guy than Agro. You know, the only thing is be a little bit more, in my opinion, I can't speak, you know, for everybody, but for me, I believe that they should really just have that little sense of this, there is a reserve. You know, we need to keep a reserve. We need to go to, you know, take more of a logical approach as opposed to like a hyped approach. And I think we're going to be fine. You know, like Land's out now, Land's doing something. And I think there's a lot of people that are quiet now. Okay, it's not doing what it should do, but, you know, it's out. And that was the main thing, you know, just stick to your promises, get the stuff out. And that's the main thing, you know. Right now, the game's awesome. I mean, you can't fault the game. In my opinion. I mean, I don't know about everybody else. I mean, people might still cry, but you know, like I said, I always reply with "get good." You know, if they cry. So, you know, besides that, for me personally, as a TCG, I think this is so competitive. I can't see playing anything else, and that might be me being, let's say, Splinterland focused, but you know, it's no other game has attracted me, and it's not doing anything wrong for me to venture elsewhere. You know, I want to buy 20 Rebellion packs. I'm waiting for potions right now. If I have potions, I'm going to buy packs. This is, you know, so the cycle continues, right? Powder in.
I love that get good mentality. I can see why you get along well with the Zircon, because he's like, well, get invested. If you don't like it, invest more than me and vote harder than me. And I do respect that. And I think we need to get away from this idea that you need to be a really diplomatic individual to be an asset to this community. We are dealing with crypto trading card game, right? This is where those two worlds meet. There is a lot of people on the spectrum. There's a lot of Asperger's-y type. You know, I'm not great with the wishy-washy diplomacy of people, but I really talk to computers well, and that's what we need. And so, guys like Aziacon, he's not diplomatic, and he'll be the first to admit that. But he says what he means, and you've got to respect that, and you've got to respect him because he's ponying up the dough. It's easy to get on Discord and have nothing invested and say, well, I'm just going to pound on the keys for a bit. no, bring your, if you want to have an opinion, hit that vote button, right, and make sure it's heavy.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. Some people would say know your place, because at the end of the day, this is stake weighted. Okay. So I've got I think about 300,000 SPS. Okay. No, probably more split in between others, and I've got some in liquidity pool and stuff like that. It's not a big number. But if you look down, no, I mean, you know what I mean. But think about it's a little cheap. Like it's a lot cheaper back like now as opposed to as it was before. So I understand there's a lot of people that kind of lost a lot of money. So, but for me, I mean, I've been building that, and that was because of the introduction of staked SPS for battle rewards. Okay, so I did that in quite a short period of time. But I would never go to Azicon and tell him, no, this is the way it should happen. Like I've seen it in Mavs, and I'm just like, you are a douche. What have you got in your account? Seriously, please don't tell me you're going up to these people with this kind of stake. If something goes wrong with the game, they lose more than you'll ever dream of, right? Shut up. You know what I mean? Just be quiet. I've never gone to someone bigger than me. Like, for example, I've had a lot of conversations with Dave McCoy, with Azicon, with Level Up Life. Level Up Life is my friend, but I'll never turn around to him and tell him what to do with his assets. You know what I mean? Because it's apparent that he knows what he's doing because, he's got a fat stack. Now, okay, I started in 2001. I'm gradually moving along. I've got most of the cards, and I'm happy. You know what I mean? But I know my place. You talk about rank battles, I'll tell you all day. I'll school you all day in rank battles. You know what I mean? I'll tell you, right, this is the best strategy. This is what you should do. Blah blah blah. But you know what? My assets back that. My gameplay backs that. My position in ranked backs that. Right? I'm not going to talk to an SPS well and say you should do things like this. I mean, that's just stupid. I mean, that's just the way. That's the way the cookie crumbles, man. Get your stake.
Yeah. I feel like there's a whole lot of us that have been waiting maybe for decades for a meritocracy to arrive, for an avenue and a place where we can go. And if you're good, you do well. And if you're not good, you don't do well. As the immediacy of that feedback. And now that we found it, we love it. Like, why would I leave and go somewhere else where it's all about everybody getting equal treatment? No, I want to go somewhere where the best win.
Correct. Yeah,
Absolutely,
me too.
100%.
And I believe that in, like, for example, I mean, eventually I have a dream I'm going to have my 1 million staked SPS. Team Philippines as itself, as an organization, is going to have 1 million SPS. So we can back some of the people, and some of the things. We want a voice, but we don't need to stand out. Okay. We're not looking, like me personally, I'm not looking to stand out. If you see me in ranked and someone says to me, oh shit, I'm coming up against Mango Mayhem, that's enough for me. I'm good with that. Okay. But when it comes to like standing out, oh, I'm a big name in Splinterlands because I have no, I'm not up for that. You know what I mean? I'm turning 40. I really don't care. I've got businesses to run, and I love this game for the game. You know what I mean? I don't want to get told by someone with 10 SPS stake how to do something. You know what I mean? It's just not going to happen. Or someone that just started playing Splinterlands telling me what to do. I'll turn around and say, listen, small fry, get good first. Show me you're good. If you're good, then perhaps, get on my level. Yeah, and that's it. I mean, that's how I see Splinterlands. I love it.
Yeah, so I guess that what that comes down to, like with the self-investment, and instantly we've had Azicon, we've had Yaba, we've had Agro on the show, and yeah, they're all, you've summarized quite well, like who they are, which is which is good. It shows that you're not just invested in yourself, the other members as well. And I was wondering, at what point from when a Level Up first introduced you were playing with delegated cards, when did you decide, and how did you start to like build your own empire?
Well, I'm not sure if it was an empire, but what I really did was, back then I was playing with singular BCX cards, and I managed to hit gold. I think it was Gold League at that time. This was like in 2021, so it was singular BCX cards. I didn't know how to rank cards. I was playing on my mobile phone. I didn't know really what to do with anything. So what I did was, here in the Philippines, it's very difficult unless you've got accounts like on Binance and whatnot to get currency across. So actually, Level Up, I kind of got some from him, and then I was just like, some DEC and some SPS and stuff like that. I paid for it and everything like that, and that was really the start of it. And I just kept on putting dry powder, man. It's just as simple as that. I just didn't stop, especially when chaos. I was about to buy a Cron and a Llama singular BCX for, I think back then it was like $500 a piece. I loved that game. Like, I was so much involved in this game, and I was like, dude, this combo is just the killer. Like, you need to have these two cards. So I was actually going to go out and buy them, and Level Up stopped me. He was like, bro, there's a new set coming out. And I was like, what do you mean new set? And he was like, yeah, there's one called Chaos Legion. And he goes, save your money for Chaos Legion. So I was like, okay, no problem, I'll do so. When it was, I think that was the time I started buying cards. So I went in and I bought, I think 500 packs, which ended up being, then moved to 1,000 packs, then 1,500 packs, then another 1,000. Then, yeah, I just kept on going until I maxed out sets, man. And I was buying gold foil cards off other people for, top dollar at that time. So, like, I paid like $100 for a Thaddeus Brood gold foil, because I wanted them.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted a max set. I was like, dude, if I'm gonna get in this game, I need to be competitive, because I didn't really understand the whole mechanism of the BCXs and moving up, but I did notice it was really hard. Like, every time you go up against someone, and I was wondering why they were able to beat me, but then you kind of look more into it and realize that, okay, well, yours is a singular BCX versus something that's maxed out. And then it has all these new abilities and stuff like that. And then, it's a learning curve. You just learn. And I really went hard with Chaos Legion. I just bought, straight away. That's how I got my MAV status, actually, because I bought a lot of packs in game, and then I bought some on the external market as well. Then Level Up bought me packs when I ran out of a DEC and whatever it was. They bought me packs, I paid them back, and I just kept on going. And I spent so much money on potions. That's why I realized the value of potions. Potions were like, that was really expensive back in the day. Every 100 packs you open, you're spending like $40, on potions. So, but yeah, that was the time I started Chaos Legion. Then Chaos Legion. Then when all the new rewards cards came out, I was playing so much that I was able to max them out straight away. I had 7 decks at that time, so I was playing 4 accounts, I think, and then I had scholars and whatnot, and we were just, my scholars were my employees at work. So this was during the time where pandemic was still in and business was low, so I gave them something to do, and then I even accepted cryptocurrency at my bar. I was like, guys, if you're going to trade in DEC or SPS, then I'll sell you a burger for that, and I was getting that, and Level Up would be my top customer, would be buying all these burgers and stuff and paying me in DC, and it was a cool experience because I just got really into the game. Like, I really liked the mechanics behind the whole game. I liked the artwork. I love the animations. It's not the best you'll ever see out there, you know what I mean? But it's good for a Web3 game, and you get paid, man. You get paid to win. I mean, who doesn't like getting paid after winning? I mean, it's a double whammy. You win the game, that's already an ego boost, and then secondly, you get paid for it. So it was a fantastic thing, and I got a lot of Filipinos involved, actually, because when I started holding events in my bar, because we started straight away. The minute I got into Splinterlands, that's it. I'm gonna find a community. We're all gonna play this together. So we launched with, like, I think we had about 50 or 60 members back then, all playing Splinterlands. Renting cards and getting involved in the whole ecosystem, and buying SPS, whatever was required, buying DEC, and it was just fun. It was competitive. Then we would hold live tournaments in my bar. So that was like a couple of weeks, every couple of weeks we'd hold an event like that. So, it was a real community thing. And during the pandemic, to have people around you and kind of bring back that kind of fun factor, that was kind of cool. And, I just enjoy the competitive nature. But until I really got into the Mavs group, I didn't really know I didn't know really anyone. I'm very shy. Well, I was very shy back then, because I'm like, well, who are these guys? I'm just going to jump in. They're all talking trash, or they're bringing up some stuff, and it's like talking crypto knowledge, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I don't fit in here. Now talk about the game and let's talk. You know, that's stuff. And I remember asking a couple of guys like, oh, what's really good combinations? Like, what you know, what cards should I look out for? This was when Untamed was still there, and I spent a lot of money on Untamed too, because I didn't realize what was going to happen to Untamed. And I felt that I was at a disadvantage without the cards. So I bought some Untamed. I bought the Phantom of the Abyss. I bought the Coral Wraith. You know, some key cards, and you know they helped me win. When Rift Watches came out, maxed out straight away. That was the first thing I did. I didn't care how much the packs were. I maxed it out. You know, that's you know what I did. Cards were very important. You know, to be competitive is very important. And now, I mean, it pays off. Back then, I didn't think it paid off because I was like, oh well, Rift Watches isn't selling, blah blah blah. Now you try and buy a pack now. How much are they? You know what I mean? They're like almost $5 a pack. Back then, you were getting it for $3 something on the secondary market. You know, you made out if you bought ahead of time. So okay, it balances out. Like what Matt was saying before, Matt Clark was saying before, it does balance out. You know, like when he was talking about the Equalizer rule set, then he bought all of those cards, and they stuck to that. I feel the same about Rift Watches, although it didn't sell out. Okay, you need them. Number one, if you want to be really really competitive, you need certain cards in the Rift Watcher set, right? But now they're super expensive. You try and buy them, they're not going down in value. You know, so I think they do what they say they're going to do, and I think that's the most important thing for me personally. But yeah, Splinterlands. The minute I jumped in, August 2021, haven't looked back. So I'm not sure how much I tend not to look how much my cards are anymore, and I tend not to look how much my assets are worth anymore. I tend not to look when I open packs how much they're worth. I really don't want to look at that aspect of it. I just look at it as my entertainment. This is my thing I want to do. So I'm all in.
And we need more players that are playing to play, right? That are arriving because they want to play and be competitive for a long time and be one of the, I guess, the guys to beat. You know, that's our competitive drive. I'm just looking at the vampires here, and to max one out is just under $100 at the moment. The original vampire. But I picked up 10 of those for $5 each, right? So they were just max sitting there for $5 each, and so I picked them up, and that's very little money per BCX. And now I've got them on land, and they're really quite productive on the land plot. And I think, well, I got these 5 cards on this plot. They cost me $25 all up. The plot's probably worth $30-40 now. It's, you know, the value of the plots isn't huge at the moment, and then the DEC another $50 worth, but that's staked. I kind of feel like to get all that up and running wasn't that expensive if you've bought at the right time, if you've recognized your opportunities. And so now I look at it and think, well, this is great. You know, they were considered to be kind of worthless cards, throwaway cards, or they've only got 1 health. But I've seen that and dived on that opportunity, and now I've been constantly, I guess, rewarded for that over the years. When I bought them, I wasn't thinking, well, these will go well on land, because I don't even know if land was even announced when the vampires were. You know, I kind of get my time frames mixed up, so somebody will no doubt jump in the comments and correct me. But I don't even know if land was around when the vampires were announced. I think Equalizer rule set was before land. So I wasn't buying them thinking I'm going to put these on a land plot, because that was just not even a concept at the time. But you buy the asset and you keep getting the benefits of that asset, and it's worth speculating. It's worth throwing it out there and giving it a shot, because you look at what they're doing with fiat money all over the world. What other options do you have? Right, you leave it in the bank, make 0.5% per year, and then get taxed on it? No thanks.
I think the fact that this is a play to earn, everyone wants to play because you win, you get something. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you really venture into the gaming aspect of things, because you know what, in order to earn maximum reward, you need to be good at the game, right? I see Splinterlands as split up. Okay, not everyone has to be a super gamer, But then there's a different aspect for that. Land. You've got liquidity pools. You've got scholarships. You can offer someone a scholarship. You can rent your cards, and I think that's brilliant. Okay. I also think from a gamer perspective, yes, I understand that there are barriers of entry such as staked SPS, but you can rent it. Okay. And to be honest, Right now, you're earning much more from your rewards versus how much it's going to cost you to play and to rent cards on top of that, you know? And Filipinos are playing, they come back, they're coming in the game, they're coming back and they're earning a lot of money too, especially the scholars. The scholars are killing it. They're some of the best in the world. I mean, they really are. I mean, like, I think there was a video that Sai did. He thought that Charles FTW, who's playing, I think, Bad Witch, was a bot. I know the guy. I'm in a chat group with him. Okay, so I know what accounts he's playing, and I play him, and I'm like, oh shiz, it's Charles. I'm playing Charles. Oh crap, I'm gonna lose. And they're just, that's their business now. They're professional gamers. So you've got that aspect, which is earning money, and the reward's decent. Then you've got the other aspect, which is the investor aspect, and you're also earning decent money. So what are you going to complain about? You're getting free money, dude. It's free money. You chose to go in, but at the end of the day, you're going to get something. You're going to reap the rewards. That's just how I see it.
The human side too, right? So if you're at the restaurant, right, and he's sitting there playing in front of you, well, he's not a bot, right? Because he's there in front of you. That's at Splinterfest. They had the accounts where everyone's sat there, and you weren't playing your own accounts. They had dummy accounts because they couldn't trust the Wi-Fi, etc. But when you're sitting there and you can look around and see everybody else is sitting there, then it's not bots. And that's where I've been running for like 5 years now, regular monthly meetups here in Adelaide where I live for Hive, and then sort of morphed across into Splinterlands. And those monthly meetups are great because that in-person thing really, it consolidates everything. It's like, well, this isn't just some thing I'm just doing with random internet people. They're real people. They exist in the real world. And I think what you're doing with your bar is a similar sort of thing where it's not a bot, it's a real person, and that's what makes it satisfying when I beat him.
Community is everything, and I'll tell you something. The earning opportunities from cryptocurrency or from Splinter. I like to specifically aim at Splinterlands, but I feel that okay, my asset value's dropped. Okay, but the earnings every single day. If you look at these earnings that you're making, if I wanted to, I could take some of that money out, right? But really, you can invest in more cards in which you're going to earn more rewards, for having a full collection and deck, and there was a time where I was listening to some streamers that were saying, "Oh, I'm going to sell all my untamed cards and everything like that." And I looked at mine, I was like, "I'm not selling these, man. These are my collectors. I remember when I paid top dollar for these. I'm not going to sell them. These serve they serve me well. I'd rather, okay, I'll put them on land for now. But let's say they do something with the wild format, like turn it into a vintage mode, and I'll pull all that crap back. I've got my Almos, I've got all that stuff. I'll pull it back and I'll start playing. But for me, I think
that's the joy. Like if anytime somebody sells out and they spit the dummy and they're that's it, I'm out, I'm done, whatever. When you say you've got all these Filipino mates that are facing a high barrier of entry to get in, well, that gets lower, right? When that guy goes, I'm done, I'm out. Probably before your time, but there's a big player called J6969 who ended up suing the company, and he was based in Thailand. And I bought a guild off him for 1.2 million DEC because he was just fire sale, everything's got to go. Now, that's a whole sight cheaper than it would have cost me to start up a brand new guild and the like. And there was a lot of crowns there and a few upgrades as well. Likewise, a lot of people did really well out of the cards that he dumped, and now the kind of prices that they paid are unheard of for cards that are that old. It just wouldn't happen now. But anytime somebody just up and just spits them in, and that's an opportunity in the direction of hiring their own scholars to play their own alt accounts because they've got the cards on there now to make it worthwhile. So one man's trash is another man's treasure, I guess.
Yeah, I think I did that a couple of times. There's some guys dumping cards, and I picked up some cards I needed. Simple as that. Yeah. Man, why are selling at 20 or 30% discount? I'll take it. I'll take it. Well, if I need it, I'll take it.
Even DEC, I was buying that. 30 cents per thousand. I would have bought a region, and it probably only cost me $6 or $7 grand in actual fiat terms, because the DEC that I spent might have been whatever it was, 15 million or 14 million. But I bought that DEC so cheap at the time because different people had been demoralized and they're starting to, they didn't see exactly what they wanted to see. So they've just dumped and sold out. It's like, well, okay, I'll take your really, really cheap DEC that you're dumping and turn that into, now down the track, people, oh, 2 castles, that's incredible. Yeah, you know, I'm thinking, I didn't put in that much fiat, right? I'm not a wealthy man in fiat terms.
Yeah.
But I was there at the time, and I've just consistently believed over the last few years. And that's the game rewards you for that. At least that's what I've found. So,
No, I agree with you. I mean, I've been rewarded. I get rewarded every single day when I open up my chest. You know, I get rewarded. I mean, my soul bound is almost 100%, and you know, I'm kidding. You know, I need them. I mean, they're very, very crucial to the game. Like I said, I look from a game perspective in terms of liquidity pool. Whenever whenever I open my account and I click a button, I get 150 SPS every day. So I'm like, dude, this is a score. You know, like back in the day, it was like you're getting 1 SPS per day. Now I'm getting a decent amount, and it's like cool. What do I do? Put it back in the liquidity pool. You know, just keep on going. Just go, yeah, what can I buy with this? Nah, put it back in liquidity pool. Oh, I need to buy some DC. All right, well, let's use some drive, you know, and that's how I look at things. And I think that this game is, if we can get more players to believe that the vision, you know, because right now I do believe that the barrier of entry for new players is that the understanding, you know, because people think it's so difficult to play this game, you know, and that's why I want to start holding events again to tell them that, look, guys, you can actually rent SPS, like Team PH rents their SPS out. So Team PH is an organization. We take all of our acquired SPS, right through our liquidity pools, we stake everything, and then we do, what I do is every month I do a delegation wheel. Okay, so I run a stream on Facebook, and I do a delegation wheel, 15, 20,000 SPS for a month, right? Because we do our report every month. And they'll get you going. Just come off an delegated and stuff like that. Great idea. As long as a person can see that they're earning even something, it doesn't matter how much it is. They're going to continue to play that game. And then if they actually are gamers and love the game for a game, they're going to play it and earn without even knowing it. You know, then you've got people, OGs, people, you know, that can fill their mind with knowledge on how to increase their, like, for example, their, whatever they've got, whatever their capital is, or whatever they've got, their assets. How can we increase that to earn more? And I think that's something that's really needed in any business. You know, I had Level Up. I got to Level Up, bro. What do I need to do right now? He's like, okay, dude, this is what you could do. You could do liquidity pool. If you put it here, you're going to be making this APR. You're going to make this and this and this. I had that. But not everybody has that. You know, the people that do play the game, they play the game. They're like, oh my God, I'm getting smashed by these Gladius cards that I don't even have. I'm not in any guild or anything like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to go play Axie again. You know? Or Decrop or Farmville or something crazy like that, you know? And it's a great game. It's great mechanics, but you don't have, I would say, like a grandfather approach or a buddy scheme. You know, and I think that's really, really important. And that's in Team PH, that's what we do. We kind of buddy the people. So if they're new to the game, then we're going to teach them everything about the Hive ecosystem. We're going to teach them about Peat, you know, as a curation area. We're going to teach them about the game. We're going to, you know, if they need cards, then we delegate them out some cards, you know, stuff like that. That's what we do. And I think it's a great entry point, you know. I think Nifty was a great idea, right? But what we need to do is, as individuals, like especially people with a little bit of stake, need to go out there and say, when there's a new guy that says hi, don't just ignore him. You know, hey, like what you do, bro, here you go. Here's an Untamed pack. You know, oh, here's a couple of cards. I used to do that. Like I remember Damor used to stream. Damor's now in, he was an SPL streamer. He's now in Team Philippines. I used to jump into his streams, and he would tell me about his collection. You know, he'll be talking on the stream, and I'd say, how many Kelliers do you need? All right, man, I've got a dump yard of Kelliers. You know, I've been opening packs for days. We call it tal packing in Philippines, you know, and I do that every single stream, and every single day I'll open some packs. You know, I send him all these stuff. I try to max them out. I did the same with Axel Twin Blade. You know, I don't know these guys, but it's not about showing them, oh yeah, by the way, I'm asset heavy. No, it's not about that. It's about, dude, you need it? Let me help you. It'll come back to you. So, and I think, you know, within this peace and freedom, and we hear a lot about financially free and all these things, people really don't understand those terms unless you really go down and have been in this field for time. You know, because everybody has a way of thinking what that means, right? If they say financially free, it's getting rich. Well, for some, maybe it's getting rich, right? But there's steps to getting rich. You know, the fact that you have been
Hey.
earlier.
Yeah.
Sorry
Yeah.
if I'm rambling, but you know,
No,
I just get
it's great.
passionate when I
We love the
speak, man.
passion.
Maybe it
Puts
just
bums in seats. Did you want to?
yeah,
Battle? I don't think we can
that's it,
challenge
man.
in modern though. I think all challenges are wild.
Yeah, you can't you can't actually select modern as an option. Um,
Oh, you want to play? I'll play.
Yeah,
Wait, I need to rent my
yeah.
cards. I don't have my cards. Hold on.
all right.
If
Well, I've
you need to,
Play with what I've got. Who, who, who,
might be running low on time.
yeah, who's gonna play? Like, who am I playing?
Just
I've got to think about it.
send to Matt Clark.
To Matt Clark. Okay, cool. I'll play
Yep.
you. Challenge. All right, I'm not gonna rent any cards. Diamonds.
I
That's
can try and just pick modern cards. I don't know if I can choose it in any of the filters, but
That's okay. You can pick whatever you want, man. It's cool. I don't have any rebellion cards right now because they're all on my secondary account, but I'll try it.
I don't have rebellion cards because I've been buying chaos instead, desperately trying to fill my
You
land
know,
plots.
dude, that's such a good deal right now. Chaos cards are crazy good.
yeah.
Like, you know, people are. I'm picking up all the gold foil legendaries that people get. So, well, let's have a look. Ooh, this is a nice room set.
There we go. So standard gameplay, no rules, 46 mana, and only water and death available. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me go with this. Ooh, it's my soul bound. I got it because I was talking about something, so I've got to do it now. I've got to use it. 6, 2, 8. Do you want this though? I'm gonna try it. All right. Oh my god, I'm gonna get smashed by Matt Clark.
All right. And what we'll do is Matt will drop the link into Discord, and then I'll screen
Yeah.
share, and we'll look at it. And I guess because you do the live events in your venue,
Yeah.
you're used to seeing the faces, but it's a new experience for a lot of people, seeing the faces of the people while they're picking their cards. You know, because
Yeah, I don't like
usually,
getting smashed though. Matt Clark's gonna smash. Well, actually, you know, I'm not sure because I haven't used Almo in a while. I haven't been able to use it in modern. So,
We'll have to wait and see. I've just shared the link, so we'll watch it
yes,
together in a sec. The link there.
yeah, I'm just loading it up.
Yeah, Lobstradamus is hardly modern, I wouldn't think, but I do
oh
get
yeah,
lost on.
no, but you know, he's a brilliant card. I used to use him when I used to rent. Oh no, that's bad. Oh yes, that's good.
All right, so Matt, you're really loving the Possibilis. I've been seeing you using that quite a
I do
lot.
have a massive level possibility. Yeah, but I've gone too slow here to really hit Almo, especially with
Yeah,
the dodge
I
from
think
a. I think I'm in trouble here.
you're playing
Uh,
Mango Mayhem, sir. This is
yes,
how
yeah,
we
true. I've
roll.
got to bring my A game. Even Chaos Agent. I feel like I'm going to miss Chaos Agent a lot with my I'm blanking on his name now.
Which
Lurker,
guy?
Deep Lurker,
Yeah,
Deep Lurker.
I think you're
Yeah,
deep lurker because of the dodge. The dodge is going to play a vital role in this game.
yeah.
Um,
Chaos Agent's
you know,
going to be
I really
important.
wanted to showcase Zyriel on this one, and I think because you know he's going to hit the Chaos Agent. Chaos Agent is just it's going to be pretty beastly.
Yeah.
But the Almo is wild all day. You know, pick up an Almo.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say if you play wild.
Yeah.
So.
And getting that free magic from Skok as well. That just takes Almo up a whole new level.
Max level too.
And
that's a max level soulbound.
I like Saber Shark for the Inspire and also the Thorns. But he's not going to be doing anything back there. He's not, he's just sitting there chilling. So yeah, I think you'll take this one. Yeah, look, Mango Mayhem again. I haven't been able to put a face to the name, but it is one of those names that I come up against. And on the rare occasions when I beat that account, I've always enjoyed that a lot because I'm like, oh yeah, him. He's certainly a lot.
Yeah, that's me. Now you know.
There's the level.
Now you know who it is.
Inbuilt. Yeah. All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look, Bob. I think we all agree that he's gonna win this one.
All right.
I would have to get really lucky with some of these.
Yeah, I'm loving this summoner as well. Like that the Death Summoner is just an amazing card to have. But I really like to showcase as much as possible weapons training. So weapons training is just it's the shizzle right now. That's what you want to be doing. And Scattershot, of course. But yeah, the dodges are immense, man.
It's nuts, yeah.
Oh, almost gone.
Oosh. That's got the Rezu.
And that can make a big difference, right? Because I'm not going to get another turn with a really fast melee card to, double resurrect.
And if you see the Rezu, and if you see the Rift Watch, the Rift Wing too, so the Rift Wing is just consistently building. And, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, Geo attends the School of Riftwing, the House of Worship. Yeah, he's and rightly so. Well done, mate. Well done. Good game.
Sir. Sir.
You want to send Bob a challenge?
Yeah. If I wasn't on, if we weren't on air, I might have been saying different things. But now it's just cheeky. Bobo Fett. Okay, here we go. Challenge.
I consider it a kindness if you mock me after the game is decided, rather than when the teams are shown.
Yeah, but you know what? Because I've been playing this for so long, you kind of know. You just look at the lineup, you're like, oh, I know.
You see
I know what's going to happen. Yeah.
Agreed.
All right, I'll try Boba Fett because I think I spelled it wrong. Bobophet.
Yes.
Boba.
Oh
yes.
Boba.
Yes.
Boba Fett. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, shaking in my boots.
Okay, received it.
It's live in front of an audience. I should have rented some cars. I've actually got to do my grind after this as well. So,
Okay, so we've got magic only, true shot, and crippled, and we've got fire, earth, and dragon.
Everything hits too, eh? That's out the window. And I don't have my Immortalis. It's on cooldown. You're lucky. Okay. Let's go old school. Let's go. I'll try it. I'll see what happens. Ooh, I didn't know I had that card still. Oh, it's only a level 1. Uh-oh. I think I'm going to use some low-level cards, guys. I'm sorry, but I've got to think. Yes. This is much better. There you are. you got me on this.
Ooh.
I feel it. I feel it.
Down to the wire.
Lacking cards, man.
Yeah.
Because I sometimes allocate some of my cards to my old account, and it's still on cooldown. This cool. I think this can be a close game.
You know, if Bob wins, he's going to name the episode "I Thrash Mango Mayhem."
Yeah, I've got to live with that. You know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. You know?
We're totally shameless here. Like anything, any angle.
Oh, it's okay. I fit in with you, man. That's the way it is. You know, get good.
Agro was a good choice there, though. I never
Yeah, I
thought.
did a double taunt because I'm lacking cards. Yeah, I don't have my what's her name? Oshaw, my Constantia Oshaw. I don't have my Immortalis. So what I'm trying to do is, you know, break your front line by having so redirecting and having the triage at the back and the self heal.
Yeah.
So, but really,
Surprised
my game. Yeah, go on.
I said you haven't used any silence at all, and it's a magic only rule set.
Yeah, I went for speed actually. I was going for speed and because it's actually a true aim, so I wanted to redirect you to hit elsewhere. And like most of the damage I'm thinking is gonna come from Runemaster Floor. So and yeah, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
And you see how I put my Dr. Blight in a different position? Usually you would think about putting it elsewhere. So
yeah, he's right in the middle between the two taunts, and he won't suffer any blast damage, so he should get decent scavenge going. But yeah, look, it's interesting because Immortalis, normally his shatter is great if you're carrying heavy armor, but you're not really focused on armor. You've just kind of gone with the double taunt. I'm still kind of feeling like it's going to be Bob's game to win. Cripple is helpful to you, I think, but I still feel like Bob's going to have the upper hand here. I
don't know. I think Mango Mayhem's got some cards, some tricks up his sleeve, you know.
Sure.
I think this, I think the summoners, you know, I would have gone Immortalis if I had it.
Yeah.
The thing is, there is counters to Immortalis, so you know, and because it's, you know, every hit's gonna hit. You want to look for poison units. You want to look for like, you know, fast units.
Yep.
And then I did the double taunt for a reason. So not many people do that, but I do a double taunt. So that way it kind of like redirects, you know, the flow. But we'll see.
Especially with cripple, you want all those hits landing on your big health reservoir cards.
Yeah.
To keep your others sort of alive longer.
That's it. That's the exact plan. And because of the cripple is very, very important. But you see, my card that I was really banking on was the Brewmaster Floor. That's why I say Rift Watches are super important, you know?
Yeah. I have exactly the same experience in Magic only rule sets with Oaken Behemoth. I'll go Immortalis and then Oaken Behemoth in second, and that melee damage is entirely unexpected. They're not loading up Thorns, they're not loading up Demoralize, and most of the time, very little damage is actually being done in either regard, except for that one big dual damage type card. This is right down to the wire, though.
Yeah, no, as soon as my Romancer went, it was all over. Yeah.
Yeah. And Dr. Blight just can...
I mean, he hits. It's a free hit, you know. You're going to hit. He's going to give you poison. He's going to afflict you. So the reason I didn't go, you know, healer, because of the cripple. There's no point unless you've got that new card from Rebellion, Blackmore something that has immune. I mean, that's what I would use if I had all my Rebellion cards. I'd be doing a different setup. So I would basically use the cards that would give silence, and then put the immune monster in the front, and basically you just can't touch him unless you've got Runemaster Floor, and you just heal it up, you know. And the way you look at the game is just so different. Like, see, for me, if I was playing back in 2021, I wouldn't think of that. Magic, blue. Oh, I'm going to put all these big ass monsters all together and I'm just going to go, you know? Now, you don't have those big ass monsters. What you've got is you've got to use your brain. And that's, you know, which summoner does it, you know, plays in. Like, I could have gone Dragon. I could have gone with the Void Dragon for the phase. I could use Cispa. But, you know, based on the rule set, you've just got to adjust. You know,
But it's
and I
based on
do
the
that
cards you have too.
exactly. Yeah, it's based
Based
on
on
the
the
cards, but
card
it's
game.
saying, you know, you don't have all the cards. You can still win. It's not saying that you can't, but
Yeah.
if you want a better percentage of winning, then you're going to get all the cards. That's why when I play ranked, I ran all the cards.
Yeah.
You know,
If
so
you say magic only and cripple, I go straight to Krallis, right? Immunity, plus there's some melee damage there too.
bro, Sudai Shaman, that is the counter of Kralis all day. One shot from that,
Yep.
you're dead. And that's the thing,
Yep.
you see, Rebellion, I mean, Rift Watchers, people underestimate Rift Watchers. They don't understand, like, they say, oh, they've got crap summoners. Man, there are plays for Aqualis, there are plays for Dallin, okay? You just need to know how to use them.
And you got to
And
predict
then, like,
what your
you've
opponent's
got,
going to play.
dude, Sudai Shaman is the only thing that can take out a Kralis, okay?
Yeah.
It's got the recharge, and it hits ×3, and it's got Giant Killer. It
Mhm.
hits you, you're dead in one shot.
Yeah.
You know, and people don't think like that. They're like, oh no, it's got recharge. Oh, we're not going to shoot fast enough. Man, when you learn, that's what happens. Play some games with me in ranked, and you'll learn.
And on that
Yeah.
note,
Thank you,
Zoom
guys.
is
GG.
going to cut us off at any moment now. So that's actually a show. So Mango, thanks for coming on.
No, you're definitely welcome. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here. I've really enjoyed talking to you fine gentlemen. I really think that this community is brilliant, and that, you know, you guys doing what you're doing is really helping, and to get the awareness out there. It makes people like me feel a bit more confident, you know, that there's others around like me. You know, they might have different passions in different areas, but we're all passionate about the same thing in the end.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yep.
I enjoyed playing with you guys, and if you want a rematch, please feel free just to message me. I might not be as kind as I have been on stream. However, it's been an absolute pleasure, gents. Thank you for having me on.
Likewise. Thanks for coming on. So that
Good.
was episode 106. We will see you next week for 107. Bob Fett, peace out.